Hi, lovers. Hey, are you ready? Okay, let me double check on my YouTube. So let's see if this is live. Such a delay. Oh, there we go. Okay, I'm live. Hey, y'all. It's early for me. 12:30. Oh, am I frozen? No, I'm good. I'm so excited today. I have never met her in person. Well, not in person, of course, but I actually haven't even like physically, virtually talked to her, and we literally just talked 30 seconds ago, and I already felt the energy. It's going to be amazing, magical. I'm so excited about this one. So this week, I am interviewing Miss Pamela Chen from, let's see, the Crystal Unicorn Tarot. She also created the Witchling Academy Tarots, which I don't have, which I will have to get. And so let's be official. Hi, welcome to Why Ask. And without further ado, because I have so many questions, because I don't know her and I want to get right into it, let's welcome the magical Pamela.
Hi, thank you for having me on. Hello, everyone.
Look at her. Oh, the eyeshadow. Everything is on point. So how are you today?
I'm good. I just taught our business class this morning and woke up really early, had my coffee. It was good.
Are you a morning person or a night owl?
I think I could actually be both, but I was reading this book, the 5 a.m. Club, and they said that if you wake up at 5 a.m., it's like better for you, the successful people to do it. So this past couple of weeks, I have been waking up at 5 just to like do my morning practices before everybody wakes up. It's actually really nice. No one's bothering me. No one's yelling at me. you know?
Who is that yell at you?
No, I'm just kidding. The chickens are still
Your
sleeping. My birds are everyone's still sleeping.
your chicken is yelling at you. Oh, this is
Yeah.
amazing. I'm loving this already. Okay, so let's look at the chat. Hello, everyone. Hi, Jackie. Hi, Zach. Hey, Benabel. Hey,
Annabelle,
Renee.
hi.
Yay! So everybody's here. So as usual, if you have some dying, burning question, please write it down. And then at the end of the interview, we will open up the floor and you can ask all your questions, and hopefully Pamela will have the answer for you. Okay, so the first part of the interview, we usually do rapid fire, so kind of like lighten up the mood, get to know like kind of like the basic, very basic question. Are you ready?
Yes,
Okay, first question, what is your astrology sign?
I'm Virgo, Sun, Leo, Moon, and Capricorn rising.
Capricorn. Me too. That's amazing. What is your Chinese horoscope animal?
Rat.
You're a rat. Okay, interesting. And number three, what is your Patronus, or like what animal best describe you? Connect
Oh,
you?
it was I took the test.
Okay.
So it was the black and white cat.
Okay. Do you have any other animals that you feel connected to?
Like unicorns? Is that a real unicorn? I think birds really, I don't, for some reason, my boyfriend doesn't like inside animals, but for some reason he always let us have a bird or we have chickens. So I think an owl, so I think birds really relate to me just naturally.
Okay, birds, lovely.
I like all
Um,
animals.
and animal lovers. Favorite color?
Oh, pink. I would say light pink. Light pink.
You had pink hair before.
I had a lot of color hair.
You
Yes.
have blue hair. You have like mermaid hair. I mean, girl, we'll get into it because I don't know how your hair is looking fabulous. Because if I do all those
Content, right?
color, if I do all those color, they will all fall off. It would not be cute. Favorite food?
Favorite. I don't really have right now. Actually, I'm trying not to eat oil. I know oil, sugar, and I know, right? But actually, Benabel puts like all these food on her page, and it looks so good. All these Asian. I would say it's Asian food though. I really like Japanese or Chinese food or Thai food.
I guess Japanese food can be less oily,
Yeah, I feel like it's healthy. I don't know.
right? Because sushi doesn't really use much oil. Udon doesn't really use much oil. But then,
True.
yeah, like Asian, Chinese cuisine, South Asia, they are oily. They're
Oh
very
yeah,
oily.
Chinese. I like the oil. I love the oil, but I was just trying to like detox a little bit.
Okay.
So, but I love the oil.
How long have you been no oil?
Maybe almost 40 days. I know.
And you're still alive?
Yeah.
I don't know. I would be
Like animal fat oil is okay.
okay.
Regular oil is okay, but just not extra oil.
Like not the cooking,
Yeah.
crazy oil. Makes sense. Okay. Where were you born?
Taiwan, Taipei, Taiwan.
Oh my God, we got so many Taiwanese here.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's amazing. And where are you living now?
Las Vegas, Nevada.
Las Vegas.
Yes.
How long have you been there?
So I moved here in 2005 from Hawaii. I guess a lot of Taiwanese goes to Hawaii. They have like an embassy there. I moved here with my roommate because this is like the ninth island. Everyone moves up here for work, for all, more money, less rent. And I've been here since 2005 and I like it here. It's easy. Everything's open 24 hours. You don't have to go to the strip if you don't want to. You can if you want to, but I have chickens in Las Vegas. Oh, hi, Jonathan.
Hey, Jonathan. Isn't it? It's a little bit dry there, though, isn't it?
It is really dry. I think my skin did better here, though, because in Hawaii it was really humid and I broke out. Like whenever I go to Asia or Hawaii, my skin breaks out a lot. So I think Vegas weather is good for me. But if everyone's visiting, you should definitely bring lotion.
I'm right. I'm visiting pretty soon.
Oh, yeah, bring lotion.
Do you have any pet peeves?
Pet peeves. I just don't like it when people lie to me. I think that's my pet peeve. Like, I really don't like it when people lie to me.
Okay. You better not lie to her because she will come after you. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Coffee?
Coffee.
For sure. Okay. Do you have any tarot deck or oracle playing card decks that you want to buy next?
Oracle playing. So I actually, we bought it because for our YouTube channel, the Ganesian Village Tarot. So
Divination Village Tarot. Okay.
Really cool. Hold on, it's actually right here. So I didn't open it yet because we're supposed to do the unboxing, but it's super cute. Yeah. I know.
Don't know this one, girl.
So the creator is I think it's Tiny. What is it? Tiny Dex. Does anybody know? I forgot. Something Dex Tiny on Instagram, and they actually backed my crystal unicorn, and we found them. So I decided to support them too, and then they sent us deck, but we also purchased. So it was really fun. This is like the deck that I wanted.
Okay. I have to check that out afterwards. So, by the way, these are all because she has so many links, girlfriend. These are all the links. She has so many links. If you click on that link tree, there's like at least like 8 or 10 of them. There's like YouTube. There's a Instagram. There's a Facebook page. You have 2 tarot decks. You also do all these classes. Like, tell us a little bit about like what you offer.
Yeah, so I actually work with Lisa Robertson. She is my business partner, and everyone might know her. She's the creator of the Animal Totem Tarot, Mermaid Tarot, tarot's coming out. She wrote a bunch of books. So she's actually my mentor for deck creation. I've known her for a long time, and we just kind of got into business together. So we are leaders in the spiritual expansion and business ascension industry. So what we do is we love helping spiritual entrepreneurs, leaders, healers, coaches, and mentors to create an online, like heart-centered business that they are happy to wake up to and that actually makes money. Okay, so we really teach our clients, because it's a lot of blocks with a lot of the healers that money is bad or whatever, like you don't deserve to make the money. But we're like, no, money is just an energy and it's really good. So we really teach our clients that, and our goal is to help them to create a 6 to 7 figure business where they can have online.
I'm gonna check that out. I might have to enroll. I might have to. This is one of the things that I'm struggling with now. It's not about me, but sometimes I do, doing YouTube and all this stuff. I'm like, what am I doing it for? I would like to get some money for it, but then at the same time, I'm like, I don't know how. What is going on?
Yes. Then you're a client, because so we all have these magical gifts. We all take in like certifications. We have this magic. We know tarot. We know astrology. So yeah, you can do tarot readings, astrology readings, but that's time for money, and you do have to work hard. There's only a certain number of hours that you can spend on readings, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's good if you're happy with it. But what we found out was people were getting really burnt out with that.
Mm-hmm.
So what we do is we help them like create a niche in the marketplace, a brand for themselves, and we throw in all of their magic and experiences and their wisdom, and they come out and they're able to like create this group coaching program that really inspires other people and creates an impact in the world to like raise the frequency. A lot of you might know Red Light Readings V. She's one of our students now, and she's coming out as a cosmic confidence coach, because that's what she does in tarot reading, right? She gives people confidence. So she's the tarot BFF, but she's also really wanted to inspire people to be confident, to live their good life. So that's kind of what we do. We like kind of see what magic you have and then put it together.
Okay. So that channel between you and Lisa, right?
Yes.
Is High Magic Definition.
Yeah, that's our tarot journeying channel. We do deck journeys.
Go subscribe right now. I think they are at like 800 followers or like 600 something.
Ooh, are we? I don't look.
I think so. Let's get them to 1,000.
Yeah.
So that would be amazing. I mean, that's great. That's great that you have that kind of like a service for basically us, for all our tarot YouTubers, like creator, Instagrammer. I understand that there's we all started out as hobby, but our gifts is valuable, like you said. On point. Okay, so let's dive into how do you summarize yourself? Like you are a magical unicorn. You are your phrase like goddess. When I listen to your Instagram live or Instagram story, you always use the word goddess. Tell us a little bit more about that.
So I interchange everything around, really. So whatever archetype or you want to embody, you can embody. So unicorn to us is someone who is doing things differently from the crowd, who is standing out and who's sparkly, and they just really don't care. You just do your own thing and you're that unicorn, right? And everybody always says, ooh, my unicorn, that guy's my unicorn, that he's the guy that I always wanted to be with, or I want to find my unicorn client. So that's what unicorns mean to me, as someone who is very special, who is individualized, who can be, have different color hair, wear whatever you want. That's you, that's your essence. And stepping into this goddess for me is when, so business is easy, but business is hard, right? It's your biggest spiritual journey that you're going to take. And I think like during all this shift, it wasn't until recently, like I really claimed like, oh, wow, I want to be like this goddess energy, like in the tarot deck, the kings, the kings are goddesses, right? Because they are the rulers of their realm. So I want to create my own world, create my own realm, and have my own rules, and really manifest my reality. Like that's what the goddess means to me. And really, I know, so we don't usually talk about like the feminine energy, or like the divine feminine and the sacred masculine, because we believe that we are one. Because if you are one, if you're a whole with everything, if you are everything, the connectedness, then there really is no that divide in yourself. You are just one. But there could be, you just not, sometimes you don't acknowledge it. And even though I look kind of girly, I really have a more like Empress energy. Like I'm just the Capricorn, like I go a lot. So I think this year is really my year to be that goddess, and to be like, settling in, that divine patience, and just letting everything flow, right?
Do you tell us a little bit about your upbringing? When you're from Taiwan.
Yes.
What is that transition from Taiwan to Hawaii? Then I would imagine, right?
Yes. So actually, our first landing spot was Virginia, because my aunties and stuff were there, I think. So it was my mom's side of the family. I don't really know my dad, but my grandpa like brought us all over to America. And so I don't really remember. I was really young. So I just remember my first words were "don't cut," like in school, because everyone was cutting in line, and I was like, cut. So I just and I think, learning English is really easy because I was little. So, and then when we went to Hawaii, then I learned a lot of Japanese, because everyone is Japanese there. So that's, and I didn't know any Spanish when I came to Vegas, because the mainland we call this, because nobody spoke Spanish in Hawaii. So everybody was looking at me really weird when I didn't know Spanish. I'm like, look, I can understand Japanese and Chinese and English, but I just don't know Spanish. Hawaii is really nice. It's like a melting pot. Everybody is everything. So for me, growing up in Hawaii, I feel like I was pretty lucky after hearing some of the stories in the mainland, right? So for me, growing up, it was I think it was a lot of fun. I am not close to really my family anymore, because my mom moved back to Taiwan when I was in 3rd grade, and I'm not really close to my auntie or my grandma that I brought up with. So I moved out when I was 16. So I moved out when I was 16, and I started working then. And so I've been broke, and back then, no toilet paper. We had no toilet paper. Who knew you had to pay for toilet paper, right? So I've been broke back then. And I think that's why I love teaching about abundance right now, about money, about your relationship with money, because I know what it felt like before, but I know what it feels like when you can have the money. And of course I don't want to go back there. So I want to help people to be open. And I think if I myself could have gotten out of that, then anybody really can. And it's really all about your energy and your mindset.
Do you still talk to your mother?
I haven't talked to her for a while. So she is in Taiwan. So I haven't talked to her for a while. Yeah.
Okay. So you're pretty independent from a very young age then. And how do you cope with that? Like, I mean, I don't want to say the word cope with that. How do you survive, like, in such a young age? Yes.
Oh, we just partied and drank a lot. we had I like had a house with one of my older friends, but it was like from her auntie. So she gave it to us really cheap. I think we were only paying like $200 a month each for Hawaii house. Okay. Yes. To watch her house. So I had a job, I went to school, whatever. And we just we partied a lot. My life wasn't, it does sound like it's kind of, because I didn't have anybody or whatever. But I think from back then, I just realized that, okay, I'm going to be independent. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to focus on different things and not focus on the things that are not making me happy. So I think I naturally was able to manifest things back then. And then when I learned more about it, then that was like, aha, okay, so that's what I did to receive this. Right. So I was pretty happy Like there was struggles, but I was pretty happy overall.
How was the experience in school or educational system when you were little in Hawaii?
I don't think Hawaii has good educational system. I'm just so I just remember, and I know that I wrote and I even wrote a book. A book is coming out. But I just want to say, like, anybody can really do this because English is my second language. And in high school, I remember English class, all we did was do oral book reports.
Uh-huh.
So I did Harry Potter. I just talked about it. We didn't even have to write an essay. I don't remember writing an essay. And I know we just watched surfing videos. We did oral book reports. In math class, you could, during the test, people could help you. Hawaii's kind of easy. Hawaii's really easy, yes. So I partied. I mean, I partied in the middle and until I realized, oh, I have to maybe go to college. So my senior year, I did really good.
Okay.
But I ended up going to college for a few, just like one semester, I think, because I was like, ooh, I'd rather work and make money than pay money to go to college.
Do you go to college in Hawaii or in Hawaii? Okay.
Yes. Yeah, I went to college in Hawaii. So I think if I applied myself, I could get things done. So I knew that, but I've never written, I don't think I've written anything in high school or college. So I just really think that anybody, if you practice writing, and, you know, in my adult life, I've taken a lot of copywriting courses, a lot of business courses. So I have to write my posts, I have to write my emails. And I think that's where the writing really came from also.
When did you make the decision, or what makes you make the decision to move into the business model that you are, or like, no, college is not for me, I would rather jump into the business side?
Oh, well, it wasn't business. It was just work. So it was, I didn't have the money to pay for college. So I was like, I need to work.
But you don't know anything about do you know what I mean? You just decided this is what I want to do. I'm just gonna jump into it.
No. Back then, so I was like, what, 18, right?
Okay.
So 18, no, I was working 3 jobs.
Okay.
So back then I was working 3 jobs and I was like, oh, it's easy money, you know, because I'm serving, working at the club. So it's easy money. So I didn't want to spend the money on college. I know. I was like, I'd rather have the money, right? And then moving to Vegas in the beginning too, it's really easy money here too. You kind of get caught up. So, but I remember when I was like 21 and I actually had a midlife crisis at 21. I don't want to be a server, a cocktail server for the rest of my life. Like, what do I do? So then there's nothing wrong with that. And I just knew that there was something bigger. And even I only really, and then I started working on my business. I started learning like tarot or intuition stuff, Reiki, and that led me to Lisa, actually my business partner now, and she was the one that was like, you need to start charging for readings. So I got charged for readings, and then I think for a while I tried to do business healing because I have a lot of healing modalities, and I tried to do healing for a while. It didn't work out. At the time, there was no social media, right? There was no social media. So we're really lucky now to have social media where you can have people see you, see what you do, right? It's free marketing. Back then we didn't. This was like 2008. And so for a while, I was just doing whatever, but I was working too. So I had a job and I was doing my business, and it didn't really go anywhere. And I invested in my first coach, and she told me that magic wasn't a real business. So this is back then though. And so I didn't do magic. So I started doing some, I don't know what I did, like beauty health stuff. I don't even know. So obviously it didn't take off, and I just kept trying stuff every year, and I would just not do it because it wasn't really my passion. It wasn't until me and my other best friend, we started our crystal business on online on Instagram, and that really got things going. I got the right coaches. They were like, you can do whatever you want. Magic is a business. I was like, it is? And so, I started infusing magic into what I'm coaching, and that really took off. And at that time, Instagram, Facebook grew. So that was really good. And I was just like slowly building my authority as the crystal expert, right? As the intuitive, as tarot. And then somehow I wanted to create a deck. It just came to me. There's no unicorn decks. This is 2018. See how long it took to create my business? It took a while. And I think that's why we want to help other entrepreneurs, because I've taken so much business courses, and not everything works for spiritual entrepreneurs. Right? There's certain things that really work, but there's certain systems you have to do in online business for it to succeed. You can make it your own, but there really is stuff that you have to do. So it took me a while, and I was like, I need to create a deck, Crystal Unicorn Tarot. And I found my artist, which is my best friend's best friend, Lisa. And I didn't talk with Lisa for a while, but I knew that her Animal Totem Tarot just came out. So I called her and I was like, Lisa, can you help me create a deck? She's like, yeah, sure. So she helped me get the structure together, the guidebook. And then she's like, you should sell it. So I'm like, oh, okay. So I was like, okay, I'll crowdfund it. And so I did that, and then it just became like this thing. And then everybody was messaging me, how do you create a deck? How do you create a deck? So I was trying to help people, but it's really hard to tell you what I did for an entire year in a freaking message. So I told Lisa, look, we need to create a deck creation course. So we did create a deck creation course, and Lisa and I really want our students to succeed. So we did put a lot of time in it. But what we found out was that deck creation is actually hard, and people don't finish. People don't finish. So we didn't really love that. Like, we wanted people to succeed, and it made like our heart hurt when people didn't finish. So we're like, okay, let's not do this anymore. So we went on, and then we're like, oh, what if we just coach like magic, like going to the Akashic records to change your life, manifesting. We did that for a while. And then I was really resistant in coaching business, actually, because I didn't feel like I was qualified enough. I didn't,
Sure.
At the time, I didn't, even though I'd taken so much business courses, I didn't feel like I could coach it. But it wasn't until a retreat that I went to that I was helping all these, my friends now, but I was helping all my colleagues. And one girl, I helped her launch 400,000. And so after that, Lisa's like, we need to coach business. I'm like, okay. So I got over my ego. I got over my resistance. And ever since we did that, it just exploded, and it's been going very well. And of course, I continue to create decks. Lisa was actually the one that got me into Llewellyn, because so she edits all my stuff. Seriously, Witchling took me a while to create, maybe 6 to 8 months, because I was searching everything. And then I actually found Mindy. We got really lucky with them accepting our artists. Usually they have their own artists. I think we snuck in during calendar season, for those of you that are submitting. But Lisa really submitted it for me. She gave it to Barbara Moore, and she's like, here. And so we did get the contract. Yeah.
Wow. I'm intrigued about how did you get into your spiritual journey, like from your upbringing from Hawaii. The educational system is kind of like whatever. You work 3 jobs. When did the transition go into where you are, or where you were in the beginning of 2008?
Yeah, so I think, in Hawaii, they have a lot of legends. There's the Menehunis, kind of like gnomes. There's Pele. So growing up, and also Asian, there's so much superstition. So energy and spiritual stuff wasn't a big deal. Like, it's always been there, right? Like, if something goes wrong, pray to one of the gods, pray to one of the goddesses, ask for help. I think that's always been there for me. And I've always been interested in like energy, astrology. So for a while, I was like super into astrology. And then I did pick up my first tarot card maybe in high school. And then I looked at it and I didn't know what the hell to do with it. So I put it back.
I think we all have that
Yeah.
instinct. It's like, oh, we're intrigued, and then I don't know what it is. Never
I was
mind.
like, what is this card? Like, it was really hard. I was like, I don't know what this card means.
Mm-hmm.
So that was back then. When I moved to, and then I started going to a lot of psychics.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that was like my calling, because I was probably ready to, I don't know, awaken or whatever. I didn't have like a big awakening thing that people did.
Mm-hmm.
It just kind of flowed. So when I moved to Vegas, and I was seeing a lot of psychics, because I think I was needing something. I didn't know what, and I was just seeing psychics for no reason. And then I went to a holistic, there was no reason to see a psychic. My life was the same. So I went to the holistic fair by myself. I saw it in an ad, and I was like, I'm going. So I went to the holistic fair, and my first Reiki teacher and psychic development teacher, Janet, she was like in this booth, and she like pulled me in, and she just told me, you need to work with me. And I'm like, okay. So I took Reiki from her. And Reiki, I have to say, really is like the beginners for energy, because it allowed me to like learn what energy was, how to feel it, the heat, the cold. Oh, I can feel the energy, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's just another muscle you have to practice. And then I took psychic development from her. I just remember kept falling asleep in every meditation. Now I don't fall asleep anymore, but back then I was still kind of like,
Sure.
vibrating. So I fell asleep in every meditation. It's okay. Connecting to my guides. So I just made it kind of like a game, and it wasn't so serious for me. So I was a dealer in Las Vegas, like dealing cards.
Mm-hmm.
So I would just ask, oh, what is the next card going to be? Like, I would just have fun with it and test it out, right?
Uh-huh.
And then, of course, try it with my friends. And then I met Lisa. I forgot what I learned with her. I think I really went deeper into tarot with Lisa, though. She really, and I just kept, and I got like theta healing training. I got Metatron. So I just kept going out, and I was like, I need all of these certifications. And so that was like really my spiritual journey, until I realized that I'm worthy. I'm enough. I don't need any more, right? So I think a lot of us do that, though. We go out and we think we need this certification.
Mm-hmm. Uh-oh. Are we frozen? Uh-oh. Are we frozen? Did we lose her? Hold on a second. Let me double check.
Hi.
Oh, you're back. Good.
Yay. Yeah, I just like to learn. So now if I want to do something, I make sure that it's for fun, it's for learning, rather than it's something that I need, if
Gotcha.
that makes sense. Yeah.
Yes. We can't escape the Asian topic. Do you have any influence from your Asian past, or you're still Asian, but like from your upbringing, from the fairy tale, from like what you meant, what you talk about the goddesses? Do you have any influence into what you do now?
I think I'm just open to, I'm open to all of the things. And my boyfriend is Indian, he's Hindu.
Mm-hmm.
So his mom prays to like the Hindu gods. He doesn't, but I'm like also learning like mantras and chants. So I always ask them what it means, but all they tell me is it's the names of the gods.
Okay.
That's all really what it is. But I think it allowed me to be able to pray and ask for help, divine help. Mm-hmm. So if we don't ask, they don't know, or the universe, you could call the universe, right? Divine creator, whatever you want to say. If we don't ask, they don't know, and you won't receive. Mm-hmm. They'll just give you whatever is going on in your subconscious mind, which is probably past programming that we don't want to even talk about. So you have to ask for things in real life and in the spiritual life.
Gotcha. This might be a little bit controversial, but I'm going to ask it. As an Asian businesswoman in this metaphysical, spiritual business, do you have any interesting experience based on your race, you being Asian?
So I don't, and maybe because that's like my belief, because in Hawaii it was Asian is majority.
Right.
So I was not brought up, and even if you weren't Asian, even if you were mixed, Hawaiian, whatever, there really was less racism in Hawaii, if that makes sense. There really wasn't, nobody really did that because everybody had everything. Like you can't be really racist because you have all, like everybody has every blood or ethnicity. So when I grew up, and that's like almost all of my childhood, I didn't have those beliefs. I did remember, though, when I came up to the mainland, then when I realized, oh, okay, so that was a norm. And even Vegas is really a melting pot. So I don't think I've ever seen myself as, like, I know I'm Asian, but I don't think I ever see myself as, oh, like I'm Asian, I'm like separate.
Right.
So, but I know that when I was working at the casino dealing, and I see so many people, I feel like they didn't know what I was.
Okay.
They'll ask me what ethnicity. Maybe it's my hair. I'm not too sure. But some of them were like, don't know what I am. So maybe it's that. But not during my career. I haven't, during my publishing career, especially in the tarot community, in the spiritual community, everybody's been really supportive. The clients, the followers, and even other influencers and other coaches, everybody's been super supportive. And I don't think anybody was ever like, you're Asian.
That's wonderful to hear. That's wonderful to hear. What about day-to-day life? Do you ever, I mean, I think we all, experience racism here and there. Was there any big moment that you remember that, or you are just like, no, I never, because of my, my different style, my different hair, you don't really experience that?
So day-to-day life, usually not really. I do remember one time in the casino, this guy, well, he was can I swear?
Sure.
He was an asshole anyway. He made one of the girls cry. And now, so we're like party pit. So we literally are dealing in our like corset underwear, like two players. So he made one of the girls cry. And he also said, I'm not gonna play with you because you're Asian, but she was not Asian. She was like Serbian. And so he came to my table. And then I'm like, sir, you can't play with me because I'm Asian. He got really mad. He swore at me, whatever. But like I think that was probably like the only thing. There's Vegas, there is a lot of Asians too. Because a lot of people from Hawaii come here. So I think if over, in Vegas where I'm living, everybody's really used to it. So I haven't.
Do you feel like, do you probably feel pretty safe within Hawaii and Vegas then?
Yeah, I do. It is, I actually feel really good energy I know Vegas is like gambling, Sin City or whatever, but there's actually really good energy here, beneath all of that.
I'm just so surprised. So all these spiritual guru or a teacher that you have encountered, they were all from Vegas, or?
They were. Yes, everybody was from Vegas. Vegas actually has a really good spiritual community. Like we kind of, back then there was no online. So it was really supported. Everybody knew each other. And so, yeah, there was a lot of people here.
That's so crazy. Yeah. How did you get in, where do you meet Lisa?
So it was at one of the shops that they taught. It wasn't like a metaphysical shop. It was more like a class thingy. And then she was one of the teachers. So she was my teacher.
And then you have just created this beautiful relationship between you two with this channel and everything.
Well, so I met her in 2000, I don't know, 8. I met her a long time ago. And so she was always been my teacher for a lot of things and still are. She still teaches me a lot. And so we kind of just stayed in contact. And then I just reached out to do the deck and we just kind of let it flow. So we never was like, we're going to do business together. But it just kind of, hey, Lisa, do you want to do this? And she's like, okay. And then it just kind of, grew.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
What is your hopes and dreams?
So we just made a really big statement the other day. So we're dreaming big. So we want to help a million unicorns, goddesses, women, whoever, to make $1 million. That's our big dream.
Say that one more time. You want to help 1 million people to make $1 million.
Yes, because we feel that if the millionaires, the billionaires are people, who are spiritual awareness, if they are healers, if there are coaches, then the world would be a friggin' better place.
I want to be one of them.
Yes, you can be one of our goddesses or unicorns, whatever.
I can't be a goddess.
You can be a goddess.
Damn it. You do have a certain image, with the beautiful mermaid hair and the deck that you created, lean more towards the cute side, right? The unicorn and the, the anime, style, right? Like, do you think there anything that people are misunderstanding you, like misunderstood you?
No, I really just do what I like to do, and you really you just see what I like. So that's really why I created these decks, because it's what I wanted and it wasn't out there.
Okay.
Right? It was like, oh, I want a unicorn deck. There's no unicorn decks. And I love pastel, so I needed to create a pastel deck. Right? And then the Witchling Academy Tarot, I really wanted like a witchy school, tarot. And so that kind of, I actually took a long time studying that because I didn't want to like step over any boundaries,
Sure, of course, we all worry about that.
A lot of things going on in this deck. So I think and I know a lot of people are like inner child. And I'm just like, that's my outer child. That's just how, that's just how I like things. I don't know. I just create what makes me happy. And I think everyone is always asking, like, what is your mission? What is your purpose? And I think we're always multi-passionate. We have multi-purposes here, but the biggest mission for everyone is just to be happy. Like, be happy. Yeah.
On point. Do you even care if people misunderstand or mislabel you, quote unquote? Oh, Pamela, that's the cute tarot creator, but you are so much more than that, right? You're a businesswoman, you are a coach, you are a spiritual advisor, all those stuff. Like, does that bother you? You don't?
No, I'm very detached from what I know that the first time when this came out and on one of the comments, someone said it wasn't a real deck because it was unicorns and pastel. That kind of hurt a little bit. I was like, oh, but then after I got over it. So, I really try to like release stuff and not let anything be attached to me that doesn't serve me.
Does it take you long to realize that, or you've always been in your DNA that you can just brush it off your shoulder?
I think I was actually a really shy kid because I really didn't have guidance from a parental person, right? Like no mom, no dad, no whoever, because whoever raised me didn't really care. So I can really do whatever I want. But then going to school, like, this is kind of personal, but I didn't know when I had to get a bra. I didn't know how to get a bra. So like people would make fun of me. So I got made fun of, but I guess I realized like it doesn't really serve me to be like, I didn't realize it back then. It took a while, right? But I realized that if I'm sad, if I'm mad about things, if I'm crying or whatever, nothing really happens. Like I have to find the solution. If I can find the solution and get out of that, then I can move on. So I think that's always been in my mind.
You are so busy. From what you just told me, you are like literally on like 6,000 projects at the same time.
Yes.
Is that your coping mechanism? Do you think this is like, you know what, I'm not worrying about everything else because my working will prove more?
That's so funny that you said that, because my boyfriend really doesn't. He's been with me for 13 years, but he doesn't even really know what I do.
Mhm.
But he always says, you just sit around and play with your chicken. So I actually don't work. I mean, I do work, but I don't work a lot.
Okay.
Does that make sense? So I do. So Lisa and I are really good with our times. So, and we say if you don't schedule it in, then you don't have time for it. So, you know, when I feel like it, even when I go on my Instagram stories or when I post, I'll really ask myself, I'll check in. And this is for you entrepreneurs. You have to check in with yourself. Do I feel like doing it? And most of the time it's yes, but if I feel like then I'll be like, I won't do it. But you know, if do you really feel like doing it? And if it feels good and it's not resistance, then you do it. And of course, with this writing both decks, I was still working on my business. So this deck was really hard. Witchling was really hard because it was my first book, I guess, the guidebook. And I think Lisa trashed my manuscript 5 times. And then Barbara made me rewrite it twice. So it took me like a whole year to write this little guidebook. I know it took me a while. And plus I was working a job and doing my business. So that was hard work until Lisa's like, hey, why are you working so hard? Just spend an hour or 2 hours a day writing. So I was like, oh. So after that, I switched my mindset. I believe that I can get things done in a shorter amount of time, and I was able to do that. So you just kind of got to like switch that mindset and be like, oh, okay, so instead of sitting in front of my computer for 8 hours, typing for 2 hours, I can just type for 2 hours, get it done, and do other things.
Well, look at you. Okay, so is there anything else that I'm dying to ask you? We talk about your hope and do you have any big fear?
So I actually I do like to try things and like exciting things. So like if I skydive, I skydive, and it didn't really. It excited me, but I was never scared. I jumped off like an 80-foot cliff in Hawaii. I don't think I was scared. So my fear, I don't know if I have any, maybe like, I don't want my chickens to die. But I think that not any, no, I don't think no animal. Oh, I know what it is. And you're going to think it's so weird. So you know those, it's not really fear though. I just don't like it. Okay. You know those red strings, the Asian strings? You guys know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah. Like hang for good luck. I don't like that.
Just because?
It's weird. It feels weird to me. I don't like it. I don't like it by me. I don't like it when I wash my hands and it's there. I know it's weird. And I think I did a journey on that before, and it was like, back in my past life, it looks like the hair of the dragon that was bloody. I don't know.
Okay. Well, I'm so intrigued by it. It's because just from what I listened so far, your journey, you know, being so independent, and yet you are able to try so many things, experience so many things. And I would imagine that because of being so independent, a lot of things would bother you, or like because of the individual experiences, but yet you are still able to kind of like, it's fine, you know, and it's so efficient. It just seems like it's so efficient that you are able to focusing on what you need to do.
Yeah.
And do it, you know, and you learn it all kind of by yourself. I understand you have like coaches and everything, you know,
I have a lot of coaches.
Right? But at the same time, like it's all, I don't want to say happenstance, but it just happened to you. You know, you want to do it, and then you're able to do it. You have a guide, and it just kind of move on with. I'm just so intrigued by it, and I cannot wait to kind of like look into your classes and everything else. Do you really believe in? I'm sure that you believe in. Otherwise, you wouldn't teach it, right? Like the divine timing and the divine intervention. That it actually you manifest it, and it just happened to you.
So I've been studying quantum physics, quantum field. Not really, like, don't really ask me the like scientific stuff, but so just like quick summary, what really happens is your intention is kind of like the arrow. So it sends out and it makes a connection with the possibility in the quantum field, which is the field of possibility. Anything it can have, anything that you desire, anybody desires, it's in that quantum field. And and the quantum physics, they have studied that we are made of like the space of energy, right? Our atoms and stuff. So your intention really sends it out, and your feelings, like how you feel. So we never want to be in the lower vibration. When I say lower vibration, doesn't mean negative. It just means that, like a radio frequency or light, some vibrations are slower than others. So if you're sad, mad, stressed, frustrated, your vibrational energy is slow. Okay. And if something that you want is up here, like the frequency, like kind of on a radio, if you're here and it's here, you can't get it. So what you have to do is your mind, your energy has to like override your physical reality, your physical body. And you have to, we just call it brainwashing ourselves. You have to brainwash yourselves to feel happy, to feel the faster emotions, which is happiness, joy, excitement. And when you can feel that and it's in your heart, because your heart is your first mind, right? It's your first mind, not here. It's really here. And when you do that, that's the magnet that attracts that possibility into your life, right? So if you are focused on that, the reason why sometimes when we are trying to manifest something and we can't, is because the subconscious mind hasn't believed it yet. So your subconscious mind wins like 99% of the time. So if you have a thought that has been programmed into you since you were 5 years old, that money is evil, money hurts people, then when you get money, it's going to be like, money is evil, I don't want it. And you're going to give it away, right? Even if you're consciously and you're like, oh no, I want more money. I want more money in my bank account. It's not going to work because you're fighting it against each other and your subconscious always wins. So what we do in our business courses and what we teach is that you're retraining your subconscious mind. You're retraining that new pattern, that programming, and you're recoding it in your energy, because the energy and the mindset are two different things to whatever it is that you desire. And then you're just raising that frequency to match the frequency. Like your clients, if they're here, you're here, they can't find you. So you have to really work on yourself. You really do have to work on yourself so that you are up here. And if you are a coach, if you are a mentor, or even a reader, right? If you have to be able to hold space for people, right? If you have that, low vibe energy, then it's hard to hold space for other people to heal, to expand, to transform. So it's really important. The first thing that you work on, if you work on yourself, you can help more people.
Wonderful. One last question. Do you have any, are you planning to, besides all these classes that you are forming with your business model and everything else, do you have any like huge, big announcement that you want to do besides helping 1 million people for $1 million?
Big announcement. Well, we actually just restructured everything. So now it's basically the same courses, but we just made it more, I guess, easier for us and more focused. So we do have our 6-figure priestess course, and which are for beginner entrepreneurs. And then we do have our 7-figure goddess, who are for people that are ready for the next level. And some people just want to stay at making $5,000, $10,000 a month. And that's great. That's your mission. And if you're happy with it, stay there. But there are those people that want to create a bigger impact, who wants to write a book, who wants to do all these things, and they can move on from there. We are, well, I do have an announcement, but I can't really announce it yet. I think by the end of the week I will. Hint, 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 hint. But hint, hint. So everyone, I don't know, everyone knows, but Owl Tarot is coming out in 2023. And the artist is Elizabeth Alba from Everyday Witch Tarot. So I have that, but I'm able to announce something soon. So I will announce that later. And the crystal, Enchanted Crystal Magic book with Llewellyn is coming out November this year. So that's my first book, and it was really fun. Llewellyn was really supportive because I think I had like 20 pages of edits, and they were like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "No, I'm okay." So that's like my, Lisa calls it like your soul book. So like you already know all this knowledge, because I worked with crystals for so long. So it just kind of, and it was really fast. So some books you have to like research a lot. Some books just like, or even decks too. Owl Tarot took me 3 days to like create 78 cards and the proposal. 3 days. And this took me 6 months.
That is so, I just love it. This is so inspiring.
You guys can do it.
Intriguing. And I do believe in divine timing. And I've been feeling kind of down and depressed lately. Like I don't know what to do with my life in a way. And with all these like kind of interview series, just kind of like the dots are kind of line up. And I'm so glad I'm interviewing you today, that it gives me a greater perspective on trusting and doing, like really the idea of doing, like put your mind to work and actually work on it. And so thank you for that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's open up to the chat. If you all have any burning question, dying question that you want to ask Pamela, please drop it in the chat, and then we will ask those questions. Do you how many, let's get personal. How many hours do you work a day?
So I does like personal development, I count it as work. It's like important for me. So I wake up at 5. You should wake up at 5 a.m. So I wake up at 5. I'll listen to like a meditation until 5:30, 5:45. And then I'll come into my room, actually, right there. I will play my crystal bowl because I'm learning sound healing right now. I have a harp that I'm going to unbox soon. So I play my crystal bowl. I do my mantras, and I do my Kundalini work. So that works on your energetic technology for expansion. And I do my morning journaling. I do Akashic record connecting. So that's for until like 7:30, 7:45. So maybe 2 hours in the morning. So that's like my work, personal work, because you need to expand yourself, right? And then I type, I go feed the chickens. And then I usually type from, it's different, depends on what project I'm working on too. They like to be typed at different times at different places.
Okay.
So I'll type, but right now, because we are restructuring our business, and if you are new to business, then you're going to have to work. It's work. You're going to have to work. But if you can get this work done, and if you can get your messaging right, everything right, then later there's no work, right? It's really easy. So right now we are working a lot more than usual because we are restructuring everything, making it better for our clients, giving them a better experience, giving them more tools so that they can succeed, and of course making it easier for us in the future. So I am currently writing from like 9 to 12 or 1. And then I'll like take a break, go out with the chickens or stretch or whatever, eat whatever it is that I need to do. And then I probably will write for another couple of hours after, and that's it. I teach usually once or twice or maybe 3 times a week for an hour and a half, and that's really it.
Okay.
Yeah, so it doesn't, and then I'll write when I feel so. My psychic, Bianca, told me to, when I'm writing my books on my decks, I have to write it when I'm happy. But I'm good at actually doing the work. So if you're someone that's not able to commit, then you have to sit down on the computer at a time and just, even if you're just staring at the computer, you have to sit there. But I'm really good at actually doing it. So it's okay for me to do it when I feel like it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
So then I see 2 points here, right? So personal development so that we can set ourselves in a higher frequency so that when you work, you can snap into it. You can just go ahead and do it, right? But like for me, my struggle right now is because of the subconscious and the self-doubt are so heavy. And I am able and I'm able to make myself know you have to finish your play, and I'm staring at the screen and I'm like I'm trying to type with all these ideas and everything, but then nothing really came out, which feeds into, God, what are you doing with your life? You're what, like you can't get this done, which is kind of like the bad psycho talking. Like, do you have any advice on that one?
Yes. So actually, Lisa and I are doing a healing and integration circle today in our Facebook group. So I think you need to come.
Okay.
it's at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Okay.
But each week now, because I told you we're restructuring everything, right? So each week we're going to do like a goddess forecast on Monday. And then Friday is going to be the healing day where you're integrating everything. So we're going to be giving you a mantra for the week to say for business and money. And then at the end of the week, we're going to like recode it in and we're going to release stuff and heal.
Okay.
So Lisa and I, we teach expansion. So in our courses, you are healing. We do have our fairy godmother, Lori, we call her. She's our healer. And she does work with you on healing stuff, but we don't focus on the past. We don't focus on stories. I feel this way because 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago, this happened. Like that really isn't relevant to where you are now. I know, or my ancestors or past, like we don't focus on that. What we really focus is on honor where you are feeling right now. So it's okay if you feel sad, mad, angry because of something happened. Like honor that. You can sit with it, but not too long because you don't want it in your energy. You don't want to claim it, right? I am sad. I am mad. You don't want to claim that. Why would you want to claim that? So you let it go. So you could sit with it, honor it. Like, why is it happening to me right now in the present, right? What do I have to learn if you want to go deeper? Or you can just be like, okay, I'm done with it. And then what you do then is, again, you have to connect to, so if you were finished with your script, if you were finished writing with your script, how would you feel?
Amazing. Yes, I've done it.
How would you feel if you finish writing your script? Like, what would you do after you finish it?
I would go celebrate. I would just email everyone. I'm gonna do. Yeah, I've done it. Second draft is done. Yes.
So before you start, you need to sit in front of that damn computer and imagine and visualize. Athletes do this all the time. Professional athletes, Olympians do this all the time. They visualize the whole thing they're doing, right? They'll visualize an entire basketball game playing out in their heads, what they are doing, right? So your mind doesn't know from imagination to something that happened in real life. So if I were you, I would just imagine I finish, I'm texting everyone, I'm celebrating like, oh, it's done, looking at it. And then after that, you can ask yourself, okay, so I am here. What did I do on this day? What did I write this day? And then you just start typing. So then now you're channeling from your future. Now you're bringing that future that you've already done this because this version of you is already out there. I'm not going to go into the multi-universe, but this version of you has already done the thing. There's so many versions of us that's already done it, and you can tap into it.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
Let me know. Try that and let me know.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about, so this Facebook group, is it like a private group? How do we search it?
Oh yeah, it's in my link in my bio.
Okay.
So it's Enchant. We're gonna rename it, but right now it's the Enchant group. Enchant, ENCHANT on the Facebook. So I have it on my page. I'm probably gonna go on my stories and talk about it more, but the link is in my bio, the link tree, and you can go to it. We're going to start at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and it'll be a really interactive thing. I think we're going to ask everybody what they would like to release today and what the collective is feeling, and then we're going to be doing something, and I don't know what we're doing yet. We're being called to do something, and then we're gonna be releasing all of that so that we can start next next week, like, fresh, like we're ready to go. And a lot of times also when you are healing or when you're manifesting, you just have to keep focusing on what, the future, like you finishing the book, because what happens is sometimes your body or the reality, it takes some time to catch up.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you're like, oh, I'm high vibing, this is happening, I'm manifesting, I'm doing the stuff, you have to go out and take action, but you're like, why isn't it showing up? You have to take some time for it to show up sometimes. Okay, so you just have to, the divine timing, right? If you're doing all the work, if you're showing up, if you're doing things from the future that you already accomplished it, then where will you be? So this is what we tell a lot of our students who, because working with us is an investment, right? Investment in your business. And a lot of them are like, oh, they're scared to invest in themselves that they haven't done before. And we tell them, so if in 6 months you have made this money back already from creating the course, creating your offers, you have gone out and done it, would you say yes today? And they'll be like, yeah. Mm-hmm. So we're like, yeah, then you have to create from that. If you feel really good about it, if you love what you want to do, but you're scared, that's just your ego, because your ego knows that you're going to change and it's trying to protect you, which is okay. But it knows that you're going to change. And guess what? Your miracle is right after the change. It's like right after it.
That's wonderful.
Right after. Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay, let's look at the comment. I don't think there's much
editing.
editing
Tell
experience.
Raven. Yeah. That's cool. You can do that. The editing experience, in my experience, can take longer than the writing process. You know what? So this is my mindset. I hated editing. I hated editing. And so I had to really convince myself to love it. So every single day I would be like, I love editing. I love editing. I would text Lisa every single day. I love editing. And you know what? Now I really do love it because it really makes you a better writer. Mm-hmm. And I just love it when I have to delete stuff. When they're like, delete this. I'm like, yes, delete. Like, don't make me, because I already wrote. But sometimes Lisa or my editor, they'll like write stuff like, what does this mean? And I'll read it and I'll be like, I don't know what it means. What I wrote, right? The card that really I had trouble with actually in the unicorn was the judgment card. Oh, justice card. It was the justice card. So I had a really hard time writing it. So if you are creating a deck, you'll notice that in each deck, because you're learning new lessons as you're creating the deck or writing a book, you will have like challenges with a specific thing. And that's because that's what's going on in your life. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, but editing was, it was tough for me in the beginning when I had to edit, but now I'm enjoying the process. I love editing, everyone.
Say it, claim it, change your mindset, manifest it, and on we go. Okay, great. So we're at the end of our 1 hour. We go a little bit over. So the last part of the interview is now Miss Pamela, Miss Magical Unicorn Crystal Goddess, has 30 seconds to a minute to do whatever you want to do. If you want to do a mantra, if you want to talk more about your business model, if you want anything you want to promote, anything you want to do, if you want to do a reading, it's all up to you. You have 30 seconds to do so. And so the floor is yours.
So let me show you a mantra that we do with our students a lot and that I use every day. So you want to open your arms, you want your heart open, right? Because this is how you connect to the quantum field. So you want to open and you want to say, I am open for business in all areas of my life. So you're just letting the universe, you're letting the divine creator, you're letting your goddesses, you're letting your gods, you're letting the unicorns know that you're open to receive. You're open to receive abundance and love, in money, in health, in, I don't know, writing your book, whatever it is. So we just like to say, I am open for business in all areas of my life. And you can say other affirmations here if you want to with your heart open. Right now, I am saying, I am rich, I am rich, I am rich, I am rich. So whatever feels comfortable for you. And if that, and if it's saying I am rich, that does really trigger you, then you should probably keep saying it to brainwash yourself. I'm just saying. So you really do have to focus on retraining your subconscious mind, right? Because we naturally don't really not like anything. Everything is just energy, everything is neutral, experiences are neutral. It's how our perception, because of the way that we were taught, creates these thoughts or beliefs. So that is it. I hope everyone does it. And every Monday, we will be giving you a new mantra to say. Yay.
Yay! Okay, thank you so much, Pamela. So go to her link tree. I will show it right here one more time. And it's also down in the description. All those yummy goodness that she mentioned is all over there. And today at 2 p.m. Pacific time, Facebook group, you'll have that gathering. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yay.
And I just want to thank you. Thank you for being here. And we say bye to Pamela for
Thank you. Bye, everyone. Thanks. Bye.
Bye. Okay. So that was amazing. I'm so inspired right now. I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna go have lunch and come back and just really finish the second or the third draft of my play. And okay, so next week, the last week of my Why Ask series in April, I am very excited to bring in an old friend, I would say, or a friend or an old interviewee is next Friday. I am going to be bringing back on here Miss Banabelle. Banabelle when? Let me show you the graphic. So next Friday at 6 p.m. Central, and that will be 4 p.m. There she is. 4 p.m. Pacific time. She is finishing up her third creation, Spirit Keeper Tarot. So I'm sure we'll get into that next Friday. So don't miss out. Miss Annabelle will be here next Friday. Stop sharing. And so, yeah, there you have it. Thank you so much for watching. Go out there, open your heart, like Pamela said. You know, do your mantra. I have to keep track. I have to like be vigilant about doing my mantra because sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't. I'm bad at that, but you know, I'm gonna change. I'm gonna keep doing it. So remember to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so that you will not miss an episode of the future interview series. Have a great weekend, and I will see you all very soon. Bye.